why AAA games and quadruple A games feel bad nowadays. Of course, there are like exceptions, like From Software games usually are good. The recent Armored Core or Elden Ring, goddamn a fantastic game, and God of War Ragnarok, quite good game, and so on and so on. But like, there are so many goddamn examples to look for and point out, like, that, what the hell is that, or what the hell is that, or what the fuck, what the heck is that, and so on. So in this video, I wanna freaking share my thoughts and opinions about why AAA and quadruple A state where it is currently, which is
that is one big pile of shit.
Shortly put it, because goddamn, the budgets are out of hand. Freaking writing in some of the games are quite horrendous, if you ask me.
Understand the plan.
I shoot Nazis. They die. That's my plan.
I don't know what the that was.
Or re-releasing and remastering a game that didn't need to be remastered. I could just put a port to the PC date or whatever. It's freaking terrible. Terrible. Let's go back to the time when AAA games were like the big highlighted for a lot of people. Like, you were excited for this AAA game, like Mass Effect series or Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2. They both were amazing games. Or when Call of Duty was great, like from Modern Warfare 1, the freaking original, to Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Or Witcher 3, or Black Flag. Like, there were like so many good AAA games back, like from 2008, 2007 to 2016, and from that it has been going down and down and down and down. Like Concord, perfect example. Fairy games, they're up and coming live service game. And yeah, I'm pointing to Sony games because for some reason, aka Jim Ryan, wanted to have freaking live service games as a AAA. Like, no, goddamn no. Skull and Bones or Forspoken, which was horrendous, from Square Enix, if you ask me. Or Rockstar's horrendous definitive editions of GTA San Andreas, GTA 3 and Vice City. They were horrendously bad of games. Like, God. So what went wrong with their studios and that shit?
Every decision you've made led us from bad to worse.
If games budget is like 200, 300, 400 million, unstable to have that budget and hoping for every goddamn game to be a freaking massive win for the freaking no. And AAA games, they feel the same. Not maybe their like story writing, but like their gameplay feels somewhat similar, or like they have the unnecessary crap in their games, and it's just like freaking, especially in Ubisoft's games, that they freaking fill their maps and their games with useless shite quests. Like, go there and pick that, go back, bada bing, bada boom. It's not like in Fallout New Vegas or like in Baldur's Gate 3. In those games, if you did a quest, it at least felt like you were doing something important and it had a purpose. Their quest designs, I love them for them. Like, I love a quest design that gives you the freedom to do kind of whatever. Like, of course, there are like certain things that you are gonna do in one point or another point of the quest line. For example, in Witcher 3, there are quest lines that if you do them, it will give you something, like, no other than the quest rewards. Like, you can rescue a blacksmith, and if you go back to their village where they lived before they got captured, you maybe get a free upgrade or something like that. Or in Fallout New Vegas, you can do something for this person, maybe kill them or something like that, and someone will replace them. That's good game design, but I don't feel like that's... And I know not every game is gonna be open world or like something like that, but like, I wanna see that if you do something or in a game's quest, doesn't matter if it's side quest or major main story quest or whatever, I wanna see that be affecting the game's world. I wanna see that. But like nowadays, I don't get that when playing Dragon Age Veilguard or like any other games. I don't feel that. I hate that. They feel useless. They feel... It's frustrating. It's freaking frustrating to my end. And then there's the huge problem that studios and their sizes. For example, if the company has like 5,000 employees, 3,000 of them are working for one game. That leads too many cooks in the kitchen, which is what the hell? There's too many sound designers to have one mind. There's too many story writers have one mind and one vision. The games need a vision for what kind of a game that is. That's usually a game director's job. Be the captain of that ship. To work that out and plan and like have a unifying vision the game is gonna be. Like Mass Effect Andromeda was not like that. That game was in development hell. Same as Star Wars or Knights of the Old Republic remake is probably in development hell. Or Star Wars Eclipse, that's probably in development hell. The main point what I was saying is, well, and too many studio higher-ups get their say on the games. At least I feel like it. Or the game designers or like whatever reason, they feel like they're more business side than games. Like AAA games, especially. Like, look at Assassin's Creed, probably best example. Why in the God's name in single-player games you have to have microtransactions? Why? Yeah, this is a good bridge from microtransactions to freaking live service games. This is a point that many will say, and continue probably saying this, that not every goddamn game needs a live service game. Like Fairy Games, I mentioned they are doing a live service game. Concord was a live service game. Yeah, those aren't like part of any universe or anything like that, but still. And Rocksteady made baffling donut decisions of a game called Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Like, why the goddamn hell you made a live service loader shooter? I believe that's what the game is. And like, Arkham games are not live service games. They never have been. Yeah, in Arkham Origins there was a multiplayer mode, but that's it. It was a side mode. Like, Arkham games are mainly single player story games, not a freaking live service games. I'm gonna freaking lose my mind if they ever made a new live service in Arkhamverse. Moving from Arkhamverse's live service games to indie games, they don't have to have like freaking quadruple million, zillion, billions of a budget to make it the money back. They don't have investors serve or get the money back to their investors or whatever. Like indie games just can be, this is a game, play it, have fun, bada bing, bada boom. And like Little Company or Schedule 1, Content Warning, Body of Isaac, Dave the Diver, Manor Lord, so many other indie games can be about just having fun in a lower price, 5, 10, 15 bucks. Also, AAA games they're losing their value. I get that they want to get their money back, but like, wouldn't it be better if the games would be lower? If a freaking AAA game will cost like, I don't know, 40 bucks or 50, around like that. Wouldn't that be better for like everybody? Because then their game probably would sell more and they will make more money. That's the truth, that they want to make more money. And if they would lower price, more people would buy it and that stuff. And the studios that are gonna stick up with like 40 bucks or 50 bucks or like Larian Studios did amazing job with Baldur's Gate 3. 60 bucks. Perfect deal. A perfect deal. That's a freaking value of a century, if you ask me. A lot of like a good gameplay, good design, good story, etc. etc. Like, if you haven't played that, play that. Let AAA studios take risks on gameplay and on story writing and on everything, but don't add dumb shit like battle passes, store elements, paid mods, and that stuff to freaking single player games. To have somebody to design better system for your game. Please, for love of God, for love of freaking God. Also, the problem with AAA games and nowadays games in general is that they don't optimize their game. Yeah, this is the problem with, I feel like, especially with AAA games. They don't optimize their games at all. And I hate this argument that people say it's because of Unreal Engine 5. No, it's the devs' fault. They don't optimize their game for freaking why? I wonder why. I don't know if they're lazy or if they don't have the time or whatever the reason. But like, God freaking damn it, optimize their game. If people know that the game is freaking polished, that they aren't that many bucks, they're gonna buy it if they hear positive things. But like, Jedi Survivor launched horrendously on PC. Everybody would be more happy if your game would be more polished. It breaks immersion to see a freaking Elder Scrolls Oblivion style of bug. Like freaking player model can have in a Caesar. Like, no. Like, look at the previous Battlefield game. That was horrendously bad. Or like any game that gets released like yearly and after yearly is probably not gonna be in a perfect state. Either not even in a good state. Because the devs don't have time or they're lazy or whatever. Like I said, have more. Delay the game. For God's sake. Relay games is you have to, and don't release your game when it's broken mess. People are gonna leave their reviews bad because the game sucked because of bugs, lagging, Caesarian freaking lights, and whatever the reason. And I don't understand why they don't just delay the game and polish the game. Like Ubisoft games are known for this, like AAA games are known for this, that they don't work. From optimizing their games, let's move to freaking graphics. This is maybe a hot take, but we don't need better graphics. I think gaming graphics hit their peak 2021, 2022. I will feel like every other game that came out after 2022, every game has been practically look like that. I would say not every game does not need to be a freaking biggest leap of graphics, or like if somebody said that some X game came out today with 2019 graphics, I would be alright, yeah, good, looks good enough. With 2017 graphics, it looks good enough, probably. If the game has an art style, it's the main point that I'm trying to say. If the game have good enough graphics, that is good enough for me. And then you don't have to freaking keep pushing the biggest graphics leaps. And then the game probably doesn't end up looking like the most amazing game ever, or the most realistic game, or whatever, like the reason. But like, I don't mind it if the freaking game is not looking like the best ever. I don't mind it at all. It's just, it's frustrating to see like games try to push their graphics, even though in my opinion we already have hit the peak like in a long time. Like we are not gonna leap in the graphics in a while. That's my take on that. And here I would say we can jump to AAA multiplayer games. That the problem with multiplayer games is that most of the time, oftentimes, what you want is a grind festival. That you have to grind the game that before you get it. And like it's freaking frustrating. And why the hell every multiplayer game has to have a battle pass? Oh well, I know. It's because it's the freaking what makes the most money. Why every game has to have a store element? What makes the most money? It's freaking frustrating to see that in multiplayer games, in like higher, like free-to-play multiplayer games. I understand that, but I don't like it. But I do understand it in business side. It's frustrating, sad, and that stuff. But I would like to see have somebody to design a better system than that. Yeah, it's probably not gonna get the most money out of you. Yes, but like still, people will like your game more if they can like unlock stuff without paying with their wallets. Because freaking games are about having fun in the end of the day. That's what the games are. Simple as that. And yeah, like it doesn't need a rocket scientist to what game needs to have because it's fun, and what it doesn't need because it's fun. The game doesn't need million, jillion, billion microtransactions, or it doesn't need billion, jillion, million freaking currencies. Like have a 1 or 2 currencies and that's enough. Because if the game has like 3 or 4, like I wanna see the freaking in a multiplayer game. I wanna see a freaking something that I'm working towards to, not like a freaking grinding that freaking 60, 70, 80 hours per week or something like that. Like let me grind for something for 4 hours or 5 hours or 6 hours. At the most 10 hours per week. Something like that. Like, that's fine for me. Maybe that's a hot take. But if you're gonna make your game grind as hell, make the grind less. Be less. And paying with your wallet every goddamn thing is your game. People are gonna leave it because they have food, rent, and that stuff. They have other things that they wanna spend their money. It's freaking laughable why multiplayer games wants you to buy every goddamn thing. At least it feels like it, that if you open a multiplayer game, the store is something that you first and more foremost see. The first thing. It's freaking
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Why that's goddamn thing? Why I'm seeing that? Why? Like, That's why people play oftentimes 1, 2 or 3 like multiplayer games at the time. They don't take 5 or 6 or 7. They can take like single player games like 5 or 6 or 7 at the time, because they can play those games practically infinite amounts of times. Like they can keep this single player game as a hold for like a month or like few days, come back and they continue from that, which is good. That's a good thing always. But with the multiplayer games, nope, that's not the case. If you want to have that cosmetic, you have to grind for that. With Battle Pass, they are limited, and for some reason they don't let you buy older ones or keep grinding older ones. For some reason, I don't know why. Yeah, that's the other thing. Why former Battle Passes aren't something that you can get or buy. Like if somebody wants to get the first Fortnite Battle Pass skins, the first season from chapter 1, I believe, why not just have the option them to freaking get those skins or buy the Battle Pass? Like why? Why that's not a thing? Can I just ask? Thanks for listening to me to yap about AAA games. There are many points that I didn't say or continued, but like I wanted to just discuss that state in generally and share my thoughts and yeah, that stuff. But yeah, if you haven't subscribe, like the video, it helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you are shopping in Waifuwares, use my code WalterCC, it's in the description and that stuff. If you haven't joined on my Discord, join, there's a lot of cool people there. And yeah, I will see you next week.